guys, so welcome to the second episode of my organization series, like inside my mind, and the part 2 to the first video of my single eyeshadows. My first video was how I organize my single eyeshadows that are magnetic, that go in Z palettes. This video is going to be my single eyeshadows that are not magnetic or not in Z palettes, not depotted, and just general eyeshadow singles, cream and powder singles, and as well as my glitters and different things like that, because they're all in the same drawer. So I'll show you that. I'll show you that. Or they're not in the same drawer. They might be. We're going to go through them all. Now I'm thinking about it. Pigments and everything. We're going through that. Now, watch my first video for a clear introduction of why I'm even doing this to begin with. But let's get into these singles. So unlike my magnetic singles, they are not my magnetic singles were the top tier of organization was by brand. In this situation, the top tier is only by brand if I have a lot of them. If I have either the entire collection of them, all the colors, or I just have a lot of them where they can get their own space. It has to be worth it for me to give them their own space. I have a lot of drawers. I use like Mujis and different things, but by me having a lot, I also have a lot of makeup. I need to like fill drawers to capacity if I can. I don't like to have like 2 things in that drawer just because they're the only 2 that I have. I will consolidate. I consolidate a lot. So anyway, it has to be worth it for that. Now, if that's the case and they have their own, have the whole collection, their own brand, they're sorted by brand, everything else is then sorted by either shade or type. So my pressed shadows that are not in their own category, like they don't have their own drawer because I have no collection, they are sorted by shade. And then my glitters and pigments and stuff are sorted again kind of weirdly by type. And it all makes sense to me, and I'll break it down once I open the drawer and show you guys. Is that all I have to tell you? Yeah, let's get into it. And we're going to actually start with my cream eyeshadows. Let's go. Okay, you guys, so when I'm sitting, this is behind me. And this is 2 Muji drawers that I have with my cream eyeshadows in there. I'm actually going to do an honorable mention at the top. These Milani Bella Eyes, I actually had the whole collection. I depotted them into a palette, and I'm in the process. I had depotter's remorse, and I'm in the process of collecting these again because I love these eyeshadow formula. And I'm going to give the palette to my mom. But anyway, they're there. Okay, so here we have ColourPop and we have NYX and Maybelline. So I really like Maybelline color tattoos. And so I have them sorted in, look, my bow won't go into the slot to open the damn drawer. Anyway, I have them sorted. These are the Maybelline color tattoos. So I can get a good amount in one of these drawers. These Muji drawers are pretty flat, but these fit perfectly. So I have all of my Maybelline color tattoos in one. Hold on. Let's put that back. Let's put it back. Let's put that back. Put that back. 2. And they're sorted by lighter shades at the top, darker shades at the bottom. Not finish or type or anything like that. Because some of them are like the matte leather and then the metal. No, it's alright. I can see them really clearly. It's easy. And then I have an overflow of like 3 or 4. This was not going to be its own drawer with just 3 in it. I'm not doing that. Alright, and then in this drawer we have my NYX Vivid Bright Cream Bases. I have all of these. And so I'm like, okay, they can get their own drawer. I have all of these, and so, okay, that works with a little bit of overflow there. This is an almost full drawer, and I'm satisfied with it. I don't feel like I'm wasting space. And so I have these. These, again, these aren't organized by shade or anything because this drawer is not compact enough. They move around as I pull them in and out, and it would just drive me insane to try to redo them every time. So it's okay, and I can clearly see the shades on the lids. It's not that many where it's overwhelming to my eyes. So, clearly easy enough. So, that's what these are. I love things in jars, by the way. I have a weird thing. Like, I don't know. I like jars of things. I don't know. I do. Alright. Okay. And then I have an empty drawer here. It's empty. Here are some ColourPop blushes. We're not getting into blush, though, but you can see a theme here. Yeah, so these are all my ColourPop shadows. I did a wonderful ColourPop swatch video I'm really proud of, where I swatched every single ColourPop shadow that I had. It was about 114-ish, whatever. Make sure you check that video out. I'll link it down below. This, again, my Muji drawers, I house my ColourPop shadows. I am still working on how I want to sort these by color. Like, I tried to organize them somewhat. Have neutrals here. At the top is more of like more neutrals and mattes. I sweep across the eye. It's not that organized because I've actually changed the location of my ColourPops a couple times. I had them in the bigger drawer because I can fit more in that drawer. However, it was 2 layers and I didn't like not seeing the bottom layer at all. I like them in single layers. So yeah, I do kind of go back and forth with this. I used to have like the different color jars, like the limited edition or like the special jar color. That's not really efficient to me. It doesn't do anything to help me, right? So I didn't do that anymore. Yeah. But anyway, I can get 23 in one Muji drawer. And so that's what this is. And so this is how I store my cream shadows for the most part that I have a lot of, okay? Or like the full collection there are a lot of. So we're going to go right over here to my Alex drawer. Now I'm going to go ahead and touch on this drawer for a second. I keep mascara in here, but on this side are all my other cream bases that don't fit in a Muji drawer. So these are all my e.l.f. smudge pots, and these are some e.l.f. lustrous shadows, and this is an e.l.f. matte shadow. And so these are sorted again by brand because they're all, I have a lot of them. They just don't fit. These are too tall to fit in the Muji drawers, but they would get their own Muji drawer. So I put them in here. And then these are some Dream Mousse shadows. Again, these would all get their drawer. Like they would all go in together because there's not that many of each brand. But again, they don't fit in the Muji drawer. So just have them there. All right. So that's all the creams that we have. Now we're going on to the powder singles. Yeah, let's just get into that. So, the pressed powder singles that I have that are not, again, not a complete collection, they are sorted by shade, and they are in this drawer. The reason why I sort these by shade, because if I sorted them by brand, I would need a lot more drawers, because these are dozens of brands in here, I'm sure, that they don't, and I might have 1 or 2 of each one. They don't need their own space. It's just more feasible to do them by shade. Also, I don't reach for the same brand all the time. So if I want a black single, I'm looking for a black shadow or black, or these are my black and these kind of go over here. My black and like whites and light shades, I can just rummage through and pick one. These are my browns. Oop. Browns and neutrals. These are all my metallic shades. They're kind of, what's going on over here? These are my metallic shades here in the middle. These are blues and purples here. These are yellow and greens here. And then these are pinks and oranges. You can see the mishmash of brands. Now, as I accumulate different shadows, because at one point I really was into collecting the Urban Decay singles, but they're like $18 a piece, so it's a slow collection process. But if I get a lot of these where they would get their own Muji drawer eventually, like you can graduate out of this drawer. Like you and your team can graduate out of this drawer if the team gets big enough. For example, I have a lot of these H&M shadows, but still not enough where I justify putting them in one drawer. And so that's like all the sorted by brand, sorted by shade, because I would be reaching for just one shade. You know, you have your favorites, I do, but here I can just really, and it's another way to really look through your collection and use what you have. It's just really good to do that, in my opinion. So, yeah, that's what I do for that. Now, I have another drawer, and this is housing, any specialized shadows. So, start from here. These are all my baked eyeshadows. These are actually the only baked eyeshadows I really own. And they are from AOA. And I get them from Shop Miss A. They're the $1 baked eyeshadows. See if I can open this without, one hand. So these are the baked eyeshadows. Yeah, and so I have pretty much all of them. And so they all have their own space. They are their own little own basket. I did not use another thing. Why didn't they get a Muji drawer, Candace? Well, because they're really big. And so I would need like 3 or 4 Muji drawers to hold all of them in. Again, we're trying to be space efficient here, so they do better in a basket. All of them fit in this one space here. Then if you go over here, these are loose pigments. And these all are Shany Cosmetics. I have enough, I have about 40 of them, where they can get their own basket. See what I'm doing here? See what I'm doing? Then if you go over here, these are all of the rest of my loose pigments. A lot of them are Maybelline tattoo pigments, but then I have my MAC pigments in here, as well as like Jesse's Girl. This is all the rest of my loose pigments that I have. It's not enough to separate everything by brand or, you know, shade or whatever. This is just my type. They're all loose pigments. Then if you go over here, these are all what I call pressed pigment eyeshadows. Sorry if the camera's a little wonky. I can't fit the... There we go. These are all pressed pigment shadows. Not quite a press, not quite a pigment. These are the Morphe pressed pigments in here, sharing their space with the L'Oreal Infallible Shadows. These are bomb, you guys. But these are like kind of loose, kind of pressed. Like if you tip the container over, they don't fall out. But they also have a plunger in them to keep them packed down. So I figured they're related. And then if you go right next to that, these are all of my glitters that aren't pressed. These are all of my loose glitters. I'm turning the camera a little bit. Loose glitters, and I have everything in here from Coastal Scents glitters to Eye Candy and NBA glitters. This is Naked Cosmetic glitters. Yeah, and those are my glitters. And then right here is all my glitter adhesives and my mixing mediums that I use. And these are my Lemon Head Space Paste things. So that is the single eyeshadow situation. I hope it makes sense to you. In my mind, this makes sense to me. It does. I can easily, like, if you tell me, you know, Candace, you have a blue loose pigment eyeshadow, I know where to go. I know, it makes sense to me. This might seem like a mess to some people. That's why I'm really interested in how other people organize in their rhyme and reason for why they do it. Like, yeah, you have a lot of good organizational ideas. However, it's like, why? Why are you doing that way instead of this way? That interests me so much. Yeah, it really does. So that is the single eyeshadows that are not magnetic and don't go in palettes. All right. So I'm going to just hold the camera here. Stay tuned for the next episode of this. If you have any questions, comments, concerns about any of the products mentioned in the video, feel free to leave it down below. I love you all, and I will talk to you guys in the next one. Bye.